Werner Herzog is a man who makes movies that scare people. He works his crew hard and makes films about things that are not easy to talk about. Werner Herzog does what he wants. He does not care what critics say or what the studios think. When Werner Herzog, who is 83 years old, talked about the movies that had an effect on him, it surprised the people who like his films the most. These movies do not make Werner Herzog feel good. They make him think, they make him feel uncomfortable. Some of them even make him feel like he is being criticized. When you figure out why he loves these movies, you will never watch his films in the way again. He loves these movies. That is what makes his films so special. You will see his films. Think about why he loves these movies. His films will be different to you because you will know why he loves these movies. The first movie is 2001, A Space Odyssey from 1968. This movie is really important to Werner Herzog. He loves 2001, A Space Odyssey because it made him think about how movies should be made. 2001, A Space Odyssey is at the top of his list. When 2001, A Space Odyssey came out, people were confused away. Some people got up, left the theater. Critics did not agree on what 2001, A Space Odyssey meant. Other movie makers even said that Stanley Kubrick was being arrogant because he would not explain 2001, A Space Odyssey. Werner Herzog saw all of this, thought the opposite. He did not think 2001, A Space Odyssey was a failure. He saw liberation, and that was a big deal. For him, the liberation was something he had been waiting for, and he finally got to experience the liberation. Years later, Werner Herzog said something interesting about this movie. He called it the science fiction movie that makes you think about how big everything is. This is why 2001 is considered the best. Werner Herzog did not see 2001 as a story or a mystery to be solved. He saw it as a reminder that humans not that important. Stanley Kubrick often uses silence in the movie. There are periods where nothing happens quickly. He does not tell you what things mean away. The universe in the movie does not care about humans. For Werner Herzog, this is what makes the movie honest. Before I saw 2001, Werner Herzog thought that movies should show people what to do, make things clear, and give answers. Stanley Kubrick changed that idea completely. The big black stone in 2001 is never really explained. The part with the Stargate is hard to understand. The last scene is powerful. It does not tell you what to think. Werner Herzog realized a way that not giving clear answers was not a bad thing. It was actually a way to make people think for themselves. This idea had an effect on the movies Werner Herzog made after that. The movie 2001 had an impact on Werner Herzog's work. After the year 2001, Werner Herzog stopped trying to explain things to the people who watch his movies. The movie Fata Morgana is like a dream that floats around without making sense. Aguirre, The Wrath of God, shows how people can become crazy when they want something much, but it does not tell us what to think about it. When Werner Herzog made the movie Encounters at the End of the World, he showed Antarctica as an empty place, not as something amazing. Werner Herzog did not try to copy the style of Stanley Kubrick. Instead, Stanley Kubrick inspired Werner Herzog to show the truth even if it is uncomfortable. Werner Herzog learned that movies are not supposed to make people feel better by telling them that everything is okay. Cinema, Werner Herzog learned, is supposed to show us the world as it really is, even if that is difficult to accept. The thing is, it is trying to make them see that it might not actually exist. It is doing this to confront them with the fact that the thing itself may not really be there. Number 2 is Nosferatu from 1922. This movie is the one that showed Werner Herzog that being quiet can be scarier than making noise. Nosferatu is the movie on his list, and it is a silent film that really scared him even before he became a famous movie maker. Nosferatu was made by F.W. Murnau, and it did not just influence Werner Herzog, it stuck in his mind. Stayed there. Nosferatu had an effect on Werner Herzog. Modern movies got louder and more extreme. Werner Herzog thinks that old silent films already figured out how to show fear in a really deep way. Fear is actually stronger when it is not explained and you do not hear any noise. It is just scary when it is quiet. To Werner Herzog, Nosferatu is not really a movie, is more about being alone. Count Orlok does not run after people when he wants to hurt them. He just waits for them. He moves slowly like he has all the time in the world, and he knows he will get them. Death in the film does not give us any warning. It just shows up. Then it spreads like a sickness through empty streets. This quiet way of showing death really bothered Werner Herzog a lot more than if it was violent. A time ago, Werner Herzog said that old silent movies knew how to use pictures to tell the story, and that talking in movies now gets in the way. We see shadows on the walls, rats over the empty towns, and faces that look like they are dead. Death in the film stays with us because the film does not tell us what to think. We see shadows climbing walls. It is scary. Rats are flooding towns, and faces are drained of life. These things stay with us because the film death in the film is scary, and it gets inside our heads. Decades later, Werner Herzog went back to the film Nosferatu. In the year 1979, he made a version of Nosferatu. He did not want to replace the one, but he wanted to talk to it in a way. Werner Herzog said he wanted to show that the old pictures still had power. Werner Herzog never thought that movies got better by forgetting the ones. He thought that movies stayed good by remembering what they used to be. Nosferatu taught Werner Herzog that violence does not need a lot of action. Nosferatu taught Werner Herzog that violence needs to be slow and quiet. Number 3 is Grizzly Man from 2005. This film is where Werner Herzog pointed the camera at what he thinks. Grizzly Man is one of the films that really affected Werner Herzog. By putting Grizzly Man on this list, Werner Herzog did something that not many directors are brave enough to do. He put Grizzly Man on the list because this film was the time Werner Herzog could say what he thinks about life without using stories or being indirect. The main person in the film is Timothy Treadwell. He is a man who went to live with grizzly bears in Alaska for 13 summers. Timothy Treadwell thought that the grizzly bears really loved him. Herzog knew right away that this was not a good idea. He thought that Timothy Treadwell was mistaken about the bears. The movie Grizzly Man is not saying that people who care about the environment are good. It is actually saying that people can be wrong when they think that animals feel the way about them as they do about the animals. Grizzly Man is a warning about people thinking that animals are like humans. When Werner Herzog says something, you really listen. He says that the universe is not a place. It is a place of chaos and hostility and murder. This is a hard thing for people to hear. They do not like it because it makes them uncomfortable. Werner Herzog was not talking about animals like bears. He was talking about people, how we think about nature. We like to think that nature is like us, that it has bad feelings. Werner Herzog does not think that. He thinks that nature just is, it does not care about us or our feelings. The universe and nature are there. They do not have any rules or morals like we do. Number 4 is The Silence from 1968. The Great Silence is an interesting Western movie. The Great Silence is the one that showed Werner Herzog that it is okay to end a movie in a harsh way. Most Western movies make you think that everything will be okay in the end. The Great Silence does not do that. The Great Silence ends with the character dead, the bad people winning, and snow falling gently over the bodies like nothing bad ever happened. The Great Silence is a powerful movie because of this. The movie is directed by Sergio Corbucci. This film is really different from what people were used to. The film Sergio Corbucci directed does not give people the justice they expect to see. Justice never actually happens. The film Sergio Corbucci directed shows that nature just keeps on going. It does not care about what's happening. Snow just keeps falling. It is beautiful. It does not care. Herzog saw that the film Sergio Corbucci directed has a way of thinking to his own. The film Sergio Corbucci directed shows that endings are not always happy. Endings in the film Sergio Corbucci directed exist to show people what really happens in life. They do not exist to make people feel good for waiting. Number 5 is Aguirre, The Wrath of God from 1972. This movie is really important because it made Werner Herzog famous. He is happy to include it. The movie is about conquistadors who go to the Amazon to find El Dorado. They are on a raft. it breaks. The jungle is very bad for them. They start to die one by one. The leader of the group starts to lose his mind. The image of Aguirre by himself on a raft with dead monkeys all around him and saying he is the wrath of God is really something that you will never forget. Werner Herzog made the movie in the jungle without getting any permission. It was very dangerous. There was a lot of chaos when they were making the film. That is what makes it so good. You can see it in every part of the movie. This movie is Werner Herzog's work, and Werner Herzog knows that the movie Aguirre is his best work. Number 6 is The Enigma of Caspar Hauser from 1974. This movie is about the enigma of Caspar Hauser. The Enigma of Caspar Hauser tells the story of a boy who came into society after being alone his whole life. The director, Herzog, chose Bruno S. to be in The Enigma of Caspar Hauser. Bruno S. was not a movie star, a man who had been in institutions for a long time. The way Bruno S. acted in The Enigma of Caspar Hauser is really sad. It is one of the most heartbreaking performances that has ever been filmed. This movie asks an important question. Who are we when we do not have society? The main character Caspar learns how to talk. He never learns how to tell a lie. Caspar sees the world in a clear way, and this clarity is what hurts him so much. The director Herzog thinks this movie is special because it is the honest thing he has ever made. It is a camera showing a man as he discovers what life is really like and also how cruel it can be. Number 7 is Strawcheck from 1977. This movie is 3 people who do not fit in. They think America will make their lives better. It does not work out that way. Strawcheck is a sad movie that ends in a terrible way. The people in the movie have dreams that do not come true, and they just keep moving without a purpose. Werner Herzog made Strawcheck in 3 weeks. He did not have a plan or a script. He let Bruno S. just say what he wanted to say, and that is what makes Strawcheck so sad. Bruno S. is really good at showing how desperate and unhappy the people in Strawcheck are. People who watch a lot of movies think Strawcheck is one of the sad movies ever made. The guy who made it, Herzog, says it is truthful. Strawcheck shows us things that other movies do not. Most directors would be embarrassed to include so many of their own films. Herzog is not. He knows what he made. Films that do not comfort. Films that do not lie. Films that stare into the void and do not blink. These are not just favorites. They are proof that cinema should be dangerous, honest, and unforgettable. Which one will haunt you first? Let me know in the comments, and subscribe for more fearless deep dives into the films that changed everything.